Well, I have a free moment, so let's TCC. Turns out these three are so strong that they don't need a burst whatsoever, or any of those other calls. I was gonna just not even do this because I just ran this team, but I think it is still productive because I'm constantly getting questions whenever I run this setup on various LUFENIAs. Every time I always get a question, whether it be in YouTube or on Discord or somewhere, where people say things like, but I don't have Terra's BT, I don't have Lightning's BT, will this still work? And yes, it does. So if anything, I can just show you instead of just telling you, yes, it does work, and here's one way to pull it off. Some mistakes were definitely made running through this. The biggest one is I was under the impression that Fujin's LD call was also banned. I don't know why I thought that. It's not like she's synergy here. There's literally 3 bans. It's Bart's, Penelo, and Galuf, and then don't burst. And LD calls for those 3. That's it. And Galuf doesn't even have an LD yet, so his LD call doesn't even exist, so that doesn't even apply yet. I did have to play it a little differently though, and this is definitely going to be no 6-turn run. I'm playing it a lot more carefully because I don't have a burst to fall back on. So because of that, we're going to keep lightning in the whole time. I don't know if that was entirely necessary to do, but it just seemed like the safest bet to me running through this, because that way she could just keep pushing them back, keep those rebreaks coming to keep them off of us, because I'm only going to give them a couple turns right in the beginning just so Yang can counterattack, and then we won't have to worry about it at all. So Terra is going to be the swap. I don't know if I mentioned that already or not, but yeah, Terra is going to be the swap. And as far as dealing with their Brave gains, we have the Omni call on Terra to do that, as well as the Bart's Friend and the Odin Summon. That's the only stuff that we have to deal with this right here, which is plenty. Okay, so that's one down. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I also ended up using the Gabranth calls at a really weird time, because I know he's going to cleanse them, because I was thinking it would be wise to have the Gabranth debuffs up for the longest durations, and I completely forgot, because I'm like, okay, I'll wait till after the second Brave threshold, break them, and then throw that up, completely forgetting that they cleanse again at 49%, so that was kind of a waste. It probably would have been better utilized if I would have used it either after the last break or right after the 49%. Either one of those situations probably would have been smarter, because we literally had the Gabranth debuffs on for only 10% health. Probably less, actually. So it didn't really help much because I mistimed it, but it's okay. Everybody is currently talking about the new trailer for the Final Fantasy Origin. I don't remember the name of it, but they call it Origin, and I have mixed feelings about it. Now, I understand that there's a big section of the Final Fantasy community who kind of just loses their shit whenever a Final Fantasy comes out that isn't turn-based, and I get that to an extent, just because I mean, I'm someone who also prefers the turn-based combat when it comes to Final Fantasy. It's plenty of nostalgia there, and I just like those games more, even if nostalgia had nothing to do with it. I just like that stuff more. But I also understand that that ship has kind of just sailed, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So that doesn't really bother me. I kind of liked the gameplay from what we saw. It was giving me a lot of Dante's Inferno vibes, mainly when he was like ripping the enemies open and the crystals were coming out. That kind of reminded me of a lot of the like absolving the sins and stuff in Dante's Inferno. It brought me back. It brought me back to that, and I really like Dante's Inferno, so I thought that was kind of cool. But everyone's memeing the chaos. Like everybody is, because did anyone count how many times he says chaos in that? It's ridiculous. I'm here to kill chaos. He says that so often in his weird like Batman voice, which I'm sorry, just does not translate as warrior of light to me. I know it's different timelines. It's supposed to be way in the future or something, but it just doesn't sit right for me. I can't look at it. It completely takes me out of it. The voice he's using, the voice of the pink-haired Prompto guy, like, yeah, we're the warriors of light. It's just so cheesy. I can't with that. But you know what? Let's be real. Final Fantasy and cheesy kind of just go together like milk and cookies. So, I mean, I guess it's not that out of the ordinary, but it was pretty cringe-inducing. And the thing is, I'm saying this, and I'm sure a ton of other people are going to be in my boat too. I'm going to sit here and criticize a bunch of stuff about the trailer, and then probably play the game when it comes out. Like a lot of you. A lot of you are going to make fun of it and play it anyway. And there's a reason that's a meme, that nobody hates Final Fantasy more than Final Fantasy fans. There's a reason that's a meme. And I think that's going to be true. I think that's true right now with everything that we're talking about with this game. So yeah, I think there's pros and cons to it, but ultimately, I think the gameplay looks fun, so I'm cool with that. And having Garland come back was pretty sweet. Like the full suit of armor Garland. I mean, he looked a little more. It looked a little modified. He kind of looked like a transformer, which was kind of odd, especially in the face and just the overall physique. Like it looked kind of robotic a little bit to me. Which also kind of took me out of it. Like maybe that's, I don't know. I'm probably just splitting hairs there. Because at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, that's Garland. And I'm like, he looks kind of weird. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still into it, despite all the shit I'm talking, to be honest. Okay, now we're in a position, see, if you've been watching since I've been talking about other stuff, do you see now why I kept lightning in? Because if Terra were here, they would have taken some swings at us. And there's no healers here, so we would have taken damage and failed the HP requirement. Like looking back at this, that was a good choice to get Terra out. Plus Terra's going to come back with... Okay, Terra's going to come back in the middle of one of her LD rotations and also have 2 more LDs. So we're in a great spot. So really, what we have to do now is just break them one more time, which is going to be up to either Bartz or Odin. And we're pretty much right there. Okay, so there's 1. Your orb is gone. Your orb will be gone too. And here come the Brave Gains. Odin, I'm counting on your RNG. You failed me. How dare you? But that's okay. We have Brave built up, so this isn't so bad, even though the Brave hits are 1s. The damage is okay, despite that. Okay. No more hitting 1s, though. Get these breaks. Beautiful. And Yang, I think it's time we use this last LD of yours so that Terra can come back and take advantage of all this. It would have been cool it would have been nice to have the Fujin call up while Bartz was here, because everybody would have just hit harder. I mean, I know they're weak to melee anyway, and everybody here is melee, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered much, but to just stack the elemental enchant with the already present melee weakness, probably could have ended this a little faster. In fact, there's a couple decisions I made that I think, that I already detailed earlier, that I think contributed to this taking more turns than it needed to, but you know what, a win is a win, so I'm not too worried about it. More follow-ups. I could have used, you know what I should have done? I should have used the lightning C65s. I didn't use any of them. That would have just been a bunch of free damage with Yang following up. I think I only used the lightning C65 once, and that was so lightning could break and go again. I purposely waited for that to be gone so that Yang wouldn't just break it right away, because I didn't want it at the time. But now I should have utilized it. That would have been smart. But at this point, doesn't look like I'm really needing to, because Terra can spam and then loop back into this with another LD, which is fantastic. At this point, with, you know, not much helping us out, probably make the most sense for Terra to just battery into these meltdowns and get these kills, as opposed to trying to drop meteors and build Brave that way. I think battery at this point in the fight would make more sense. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, definitely, because she's capping. She definitely wouldn't be hitting that hard if she was dropping meteors right now. No way in hell. So we pretty much got it. So even without bursts, these bears are not all that threatening. There's other setups that work for this too, like I did another one, I didn't record that one though, with Paladin, Trey, and Gladio. Yeah, the classic Boss Rush 2 team. Or no, 3, excuse me, Boss Rush 3. Alright, lightning, beautiful. So that's another X-TREME for the books. Just killing time, having fun. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.